Hi, welcome to the next video. As promised, we're going to go over how I made the Tic Tac Toe Board, the homework from the last video. So let me get this off the screen. There we go. All right, so I had put it into a header file just so you wouldn't see the code while I was doing it, but you don't need to have this in a header file. But here's my function for it, this draw board. So I basically, and like I said, as a hint from last time, I actually went into Paint and I drew one little square, which you can draw a perfect square if you're holding down the Shift key and drawing the square. It won't let you make anything but a perfect square. So I drew a square and then copy and pasted it until I had a big giant grid. You can do this, copy it and drag another one around by holding down the Control key. And I did this until I had a big giant grid. Now, it was actually originally oversized, bigger than this, but what I did was I drew the Tic Tac Toe board and put the numbers in there, and then just shaved off the rest for the video. So this is what I came up with. Then I counted. I had, what was it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So it was 11 by 11 size grid. So in my program, I made a two-dimensional array called TTT, stands for tic-tac-toe, 11 by 11. And like I showed in the last video, I then went and filled up that array with spaces. And then I went and I made this loop here. It's I equals 0, I is less than 11, and I increments I. And then what I did was I made these four, well, this is how I did it. The first one, I is going to increase each time you do it, and this second one is going to be just steadily 3. So if you look at my grid here, 0, 1, 2, 3, and each time I increments, the first time it's 0, so we're right here. Then as I increments, it starts drawing this line down. And the next one, I increments, and it's column 7. That's this one here. So each time I increments, the row goes up and the column stays at 7. Then I did the opposite on the row stays at 3 and the column goes up, and that drew this one here. So and then I did it again with 7. So that filled in, and I used the full fade B, which I had described in my console graphics header with all these defined statements. Full fade B is basically will be replaced pre-processing with the number 177. So after that, I had to go in and manually fill in my numbers. So I basically just had to go and count and find out where they should be, and then put them in there. So and then I printed out I printed out a few blank lines, and then I made a one loop to print out each row, and then then I would do an end line to skip to the, basically get myself on the next line, and then I printed out a few spaces, and that was to get it just moved away from the edge a little bit. And then I would print out, I'm sorry, this one was for each row. This one is each column in the row. And that was it. So I hope you got this. What we're going to do for the next video is make a game using this. And yeah, we'll make a tic-tac-toe game that you and a friend can actually play. All right, I'll see you in the next video.